everyone, it's Jael and welcome back to my channel. So this week I decided to try using olive oil, or just, an oil, as a sealant instead of my butter. But before we get started, please don't forget to click that subscribe button down below. And if you're dealing with a business, especially a black-owned business, please send me an email at charmainejoyelle@gmail.com or fill out the Google link form down below. But let's get started. So I'm sure you guys already know, and I say it all the time, I love using hair butters as my sealants. I love how soft they make my hair feel. I love how just hydrated my hair stays when I use a butter. I always felt that they were less greasy and less messy to use than an oil. But I decided that I was going to try, now that my hair's longer, I'm much more familiar and comfortable with my hair routine and how my hair works. I decided that I was going to use one of my favorite oils, olive oil, as a sealant for once. So that's why I did this wash day. The next video that I plan on uploading is how vitamin E oil has been saving my ends. I've been using that on my wash days, and I figured if vitamin E oil can do this for my ends, what would happen if I actually tried using an oil as my sealant? I never really did it a whole lot in the beginning of my journey. I just thought it would be too messy and just so much more greasy, but I never really dived in and gave it a chance. I just use the olive oil that I have in my pantry. It's just like Kroger brand extra virgin olive oil. You don't need to go out and buy a hair brand specific oil, but I don't think that's necessary. So just go in your pantry, grab your oil. That's what I did, and I already had some in a hair applicator bottle, which makes it a little easier to just squirt into the palm of my hand instead of having to pour it in. Just squeeze a little bit out, makes it easier. At the end of my wash day routine, I applied my leave-in as usual. I used my vitamin E on my ends, and then I decided that I was going to use about a quarter-sized amount on each section to seal everything in. Now, olive oil is just one of my favorites. It's a cheap oil to use. It doesn't harden up like coconut oil tends to do, and it's not massively thick or heavy, so I thought that this would be a pretty good one to pick. So now there is a difference between sealing oils and moisturizing oils. Moisturizing oils are going to be able to penetrate the hair shaft to make the hair soft, to strengthen it, and then you have your sealant oils, which do a better job of sitting kind of on top of the hair shaft, sealing in other products such as your leave-ins. And the olive oil happens to be a moisturizing oil. I like to use it as a sealant as well. But grapeseed oil, not only do I feel like it's a little bit lighter than olive oil, but it also is categorized as a sealant oil. So I would be interested in trying that, seeing as olive oil is a moisturizing oil and grapeseed oil is more of a sealant oil. After applying everything to my hair, I just brushed it through and braided each section up as I normally do. And then I waited about 2 days for my hair to dry. Now my hair right now is what it looks like after letting the braids sit for probably about 4 days. My routine is that I do my wash day and then I'll leave my hair in my braids for about a week, just under a week, and then I'll take my braids out. I do everything from home, so I don't really leave the home too often. Plus, I don't mind going out and running errands while my hair is in braids. It just kind of gives my hair a break, and it's a good protective style. Allows everything to just kind of sit and do its thing and not have to wear my hair out. But I let this sit. I think this is about day 5 or 6 of taking it out, and this is kind of my final thoughts. So while it was in the braids, it took about 2 days to dry, which is normal for my hair, even with the butter. So I didn't notice it, drying faster or taking longer. It was generally about the same. I did, however, notice my braids didn't feel, or my hair itself didn't feel as smooth as I usually like. It didn't feel as smooth as the butters usually make my hair feel. I like that smooth feeling, personally. It actually felt drier, which is kind of weird. It's I had an oil on it. I would think that it would make my hair feel, at least a little smooth, and it did a little bit, but my ends felt not as protected as it does when I have the vitamin E oil and the butter to seal it all together. So that was something that I wasn't necessarily too fond of. Now, they weren't crunchy dry. They just felt drier than usual. They just didn't feel as smooth because that's what the butter provides me, and that's just a personal preference. I did, however, notice that while I was unbraiding my hair, it does feel a little greasy. It's not bad enough that I would never do this again, but it does feel greasier than when I use a butter. And again, I only used about a quarter size amount of oil, so I didn't use any drastic amount. At least I don't think so, at least not for my hair length. I didn't, but it does feel a little greasier than from what it does when I use a butter. But I think my hair looks great. I'm not mad at this, actually. I'm pretty satisfied with this. It also didn't drip, you know, I didn't use, you know, an excessive amount, so it wasn't going to like be dripping down off of my hair. But that was one of my fears with using an oil as a sealant, is that it's runny, and I didn't know how long it would take for it to kind of like settle onto my hair, and I wasn't sure if it was going to drip down my braids, drip down my forehead a little bit. But I didn't really have an issue with that. So generally, I didn't notice too many differences between using an oil versus a butter. I mean, they both are sealants. They both work together to lock in moisture from your leave-ins and other products. It helps reduce any kind of frizz or friction on your hair. They both can help with the detangling process if you choose to detangle after applying all your product. On wash day, I usually detangle after my deep conditioner, as you guys I've probably seen 1,000 times. Not too big of a difference. It does feel, I mean, I do have a little more residue on my fingers than I do with the butter. At least that's what I noticed, but there's really not much of a huge difference. It's really just your preference, whichever you prefer to use on your hair, whichever your hair best responds to. I am glad that I did this though, because at least now I know that if for whatever reason, you know, I've run out of a butter, you know, I can go and to my pantry and just grab my olive oil and use that to seal my hair up and, you know, get me through the week, or protect my hair until I can get a product that, you know, I just prefer to use. So yeah, this is another way that you can also kind of just save some money on your hair routine. Is, you know, you don't have to go out and buy a butter. You can use what you use. Use what you have in your pantry at home, a lot cheaper than buying, you know, a brand name hair product. Yeah, I am not mad at this. I would like to see if maybe I like grapeseed oil better. Grapeseed oil is much lighter than olive oil, and I'm wondering if I would like the feel of that a little bit more. I don't mind like a heavier feel of products. That doesn't bother me. It actually makes me feel better and makes my hair feel like it's more protected. But let me know down below if you guys prefer oil over butter, or if you prefer a completely different product. I know some people will just use a gel. I don't know if gels technically count as sealants. They're not my thing. But let me know what you guys use, what you guys think. Have you tried using an oil versus a butter? Is there a specific oil that you prefer to use? I love hearing all your guys' thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this week's video, please don't forget to click that subscribe button down below. If you'd like to have a Zoom call with me, check out all the links down below to go ahead and schedule that. Keep blooming, and I'll see you guys in my next video.